Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Cobra Command Central Toy Review, and today we'll be looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Iron Man 2 action figures, which scales with your 3¼ inch action figures like G.I. Joe or Marvel Universe, except these guys are a bit more taller. Now we'll be looking at the movie series on the Iron Man Mark II armor. Now I really love this armor. It looks very nicely painted, and I got this not from Toys R Us. I actually went to a shopping mall today and trying to get my cash at the ATM there, and I thought to myself, well, since the ATM is next to the place, I might as well check it out. And I was quite surprised they were selling this, and this is the only piece left. I was very lucky to obtain this. Now I really love the figure just by the look of it, but I really don't like the gimmick, the missile launching gimmick. Come on, can't you just put a energy blast accessory or something like that? Here we have the card itself, and in the back here you have the base stand. And as you notice, this price tag is not from Toys R Us. I already stated that. You have the bio for Mark II Iron Man armor, the launching missile gimmick, which the price tag is actually, well, covering it. Here on number 3 series is the Iron Man Mark III armor. Number 1 series will be Iron Man Mark I armor, and number 6 series is Iron Man Deep Dive armor. Okay, that's really nice. Now, without further ado, let's open up this package so I can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from the packaging. Now let's take a look at the base stand here. Now, as you can see, the design for the base stand, this section here is supposed to be printed on with the name of the figure, but I do not know why that Hasbro decided not to do that, so that's kind of disappointing. Here you have a peg there to hold the figure, where you just place it at the feet, at the bottom feet. There's 2 holes there, you just place it there, and it's quite tight, which is kind of surprising, unlike Crimson Dynamo and the Mark I comic version. As you can see, I'm holding the figure and he's still on top, staying on with the base stand because it's quite tight, unlike the 2 other figures, because it tends to fall. Now here you got the 3 slots to place the cards, and here is the cards. You got the base card that shows the torso, the card that shows the legs, and the arms and head. And here it shows the stats, which I have no idea what it says. Let's try mixing with the cards with the other characters and see what can we do with it. It's actually kind of fun, as you can see. Oh, very nice. You can mix and match and do whatever combination that you really wanted. Okay, I'm gonna put it this one side. Here we have the missile and the missile launcher. The missile this is kind of plastic that seemed very cheap, and I really don't like the missile launcher for the figure itself. Should come with stuff like this kind of accessories, but this kind of accessories as well, but instead it comes with a missile launcher. That's really stupid. But at least the missile launcher is not oversized like Rise of Cobra stuff from the G.I. Joe movie line. And when you load it, you can hear the loud click, and there's a button on top here. It fires pretty hard, so you have to be careful on this. There are a couple of times when I tried to load it and it almost shot at me. Yeah, it went zipping by next to my face, just like how Thunderhound did with his Rhino review. Now the funny thing about this, you got the missile launcher, it's nicely detailed. Okay, the bottom part here is all painted in silver, but what's wrong with this part here? The grey plastic is like it's not painted at all. It looks kind of cheap. But you can actually place it at the wrist like so, and he's holding it. It looks not bad, at least it's not too big, but then again we're talking about Mark II armor. What would he need the missile for? Now let's take a look at the figure. The figure is absolutely gorgeous, very gorgeous. There's no paint smudges. I don't think I see any paint smudges, and the lines are well painted, and the entire figure itself is in silver. so it's very shiny. Now the disappointing part is, because it's a Mark II armor, it's supposed to come with rivets. Okay, even the comic version of the Mark I armor, it has rivets. This one has rivets, except it's not sculpted, it's painted on, so it's rather disappointing to see this kind of stuff. But the sculpt is very nice. Look at the back here. Tell me this is not gorgeous. It's very gorgeous. And the shoulder pads are a separate piece which you can remove like so. And the head is very nicely sculpted, very nicely done. Art director is also painted, so that's the eyes a little bit. So let's take a look at the articulation. I was quite surprised that the head can pivot up and down. Look at this, very nice. Can turn 360 degrees. Torso has articulation. Can turn 360 degrees. Pivot forward, backwards. Really nice. Finally, there's some decent joints here. Arms can turn 360 degrees, but you can't spread much for the arms because it's hindered by the shoulder pad. Elbow can bend as far as here, and then right or left because it's hindered by this piece here. You can see this. Now it comes to the painful part. The hip joint is super tight, so it's really hard for me to pose this figure because, as you can see, it is super tight. My God, every time I try to bend the legs, it's like I'm risking breaking the figure. If you encounter this kind of figures with super tight joints, make sure that you hold to the nearest joint itself, like maybe to the thigh, and then try to use a little bit of force to pull it, because it's really super tight. Now, as I mentioned a lot of times, I really don't like ball joint sockets because this one is designed with the pegs aiming upwards rather to the sides. So whenever you want to pose this figure, you have to twist the thigh and twist the ball joint itself. Problem is the thigh joint, the swiveling thigh there, is the peg and the thigh itself, when connected, they are very super tight as well. So whenever I try to turn, it turns the ball joint, so that's really bad. Double jointed knee, which is good. No point of me moving the ankle joint because it's also very tight. It makes no difference at all when I try to move it. It can go side to side, but like I said, posing this figure is really a disappointment. Everything looks so great, it's just that posing him is so pain in the ass. Now let's do a size comparison with the figure. Here is the Marvel Universe Iron Man, as you can see. Size itself. And we have Crimson Dynamo. Very big. For Crimson Dynamo, of course. Now, let's do an experiment. Since it doesn't come with this kind of snap-on blast, repulsor blast, this hand is a closed fist. And it's sort of hold, but it's very loose. Let's try the other hand. Be careful with the fingers though, it's really soft. And there you go. Looks very nice, isn't it? And I don't have to use this repulsor blast for my Mark I rust bucket. So, if I'm gonna give a rating on this figure, looks great. Just really disappointed with the joints. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, I'm just gonna give it a 5 out of 10. So, thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.